Recently, I tried to get my F10 535i aligned at Firestone, but of course, they couldn't align it because I'm lowered and the camber is not adjustable on the stock control arm. So today, of course, I'm going to be replacing these stock control arms with these adjustable camber control arms. Let's get straight into this, super easy, and I'll show you all exactly how to do it. Let's do this. That's right, so brand new control arms because like I said, I tried getting my car aligned at Firestone. I have the lifetime alignment, which has come in handy very, very much. But I couldn't get it fully aligned. The rear is fine for some reason. They could get the fine just in spec, which is weird. But the front they could not. Should be at about 0 to negative 0.3. Right now, I'm at negative 2.7. So I'm way off, which is why the inside of my tire, last tire that I had, the outside was fine. It was like this much tread left, but on the inside, it was the wires showing, the metal showing. So obviously that's not gonna work. I have to go ahead and get the camber adjusted. Now, of course, I'm not gonna adjust the camber. I don't know how to do that. I don't have the tools for that, and I cannot align my car. Firestone can, but they also can't do anything with the stock control arms, which is right here. You can see this is the stock control arm that I took off from the right side. I've already done the right side. And this job actually, as opposed to everything that I've heard on the internet and what everyone says, is not scary. It's not hard. It's 3 bolts. You're good to go. It's not that bad at all. It's very simple actually. But this stock control arm, obviously you can see, has no adjustment anywhere. It's just as it is. And so if you lower the car, you can't fix the camber unless you get like a camber plate on the top of the coilover, but that's totally different. That's like way too technical and in deep. I don't think that's necessary at all. So of course, what is necessary is the camber, which of course I have right here. You can see this is an aftermarket control arm with a little ant on it. But this is an aftermarket control arm that I got on eBay. Both left and right. Free shipping, $175 US. Not bad at all. I'll put a link to these in the description. They seem fairly good quality. I cannot lie, they seem really nice. They are heavier than the stock ones, which you might say is a bad thing, but I actually think it's a good thing. They feel really, really sturdy, really solid. I mean, these things have some weight, and of course you have the adjustments there with that little plate for adjusting, of course. Now, these are also blue. Not that it matters, I just like the blue. These are not blue, which is boring. But I'm gonna show y'all exactly how to install these. These are really simple to install, I cannot lie. I've done a lot of research and there's not one single video on the internet about how to install these on a BMW F10. So if you're looking for how to install the upper control arms, not the thrust arm or the lower control arm, on your BMW F10, welcome. It's actually not that hard at all. 3 bolts, some torque specs, very easy. Let's get straight to it. Now, obviously the first thing to do is to raise the car. I'm gonna go ahead and take the front left wheel off, and then that's where we can start. Very easy. You will also have to open the engine bay, but it's not a lot of work there. Quite simple. All right, so here we are inside. Of course, you can see my ECS tuning coilovers, which by the way, I have a video about those. They are awesome. I absolutely love them. But here we are here for the upper control arm, which by the way, some people call wishbone because it looks like a wishbone. BMW refers to it as the control arm, so it gets a little confusing. And in fact, they call the lower control arm the wishbone, even though it's not in the shape of a wishbone. I don't know, BMW. But first things what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bolt off. This is an E14 on this side. You can see right here, and a 14mm on the other side. So go ahead and take that off, and then we should be able to hammer this thing up. Now, I'm gonna explain why we're gonna do this first. There's actually a really good reason, because you have to torque this down at ride height. But the problem is, ride height is really hard to get to. If the wheel is on and the car is down, I don't really see any possible way that you can tighten that with the wheel on and the suspension compressed. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna loosen that, and then the control arm is going to pop up. Whatever that pop-up is the preload that it's gonna have to be set to. So we're gonna measure that, and then we're gonna redo that on the new one. I'll explain in a little bit. Now, before we go ahead and pop this off, which of course it is loose, we can pop it off right now with a nice little deadbolt hammer. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a 10mm socket. I'm going to remove the level sensor. This level sensor is only on the driver's side. There's not gonna be one on the other side. So go ahead and get a 10mm up top here. There's a little nut, and go ahead and remove that. All right, there we go. Make sure you don't lose this little guy. And you can see the level sensor is now loose here. Now, at this stage, try not to turn on the car for whatever reason, because if you do, this sensor is going to start yelling at you. It's going to tell you drivetrain malfunction or something. Just try to keep the car off. All right, now that we have that out of the way, we can go ahead and get our hammer. I'm going to use this little mallet right here. I'm going to pop this off before loosening either of those 2 bolts or nuts. Don't loosen those yet. It should go out somewhat easy, actually. Now, when it pops off, you're going to see that obviously your entire knuckle is going to want to go forwards. Don't let that happen, because it's going to start putting a lot of strain on the brake lines, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some rope and tie it over down there. All right, so here you can see we have everything tied up, everything's out of the way, and I put it also, by the way, to the left because what we're going to be working on, the most tricky part is right here, this bolt on our right side, which is facing the inside of the engine. Now, it's not hard, it's just a little tedious because there's no real room to use like a ratchet wrench or anything, unless you have a really thin ratchet wrench, but unfortunately I don't. I have a ratchet 15mm and a 17mm, but that obviously, as luck would have it, is a 16mm. So it is what it is. I'm gonna have to use a regular wrench, but you can see here, this is what I'm talking about. The reason I don't want you guys to loosen those first is because this actually has some preload set onto it, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and measure the preload. I'm gonna measure the distance from the top over here to the center of wherever you want to measure to, and that way we know whenever we put on the new one to tighten those two sides, the bolt and the nut over there, first according to the preload, so that we actually get the right preload, because you don't want it too saggy and you don't want it too stiff, or else it's going to change the right height, the right quality, all of that, right? So make sure that you actually go ahead and get a tape measure and measure, which is what I'm going to do. And if it's different on both sides, that's fine. I mean, cars, they're not perfect left to right, so I'm going to go ahead and measure this. If it's any different, I'll see about that, but it should be the same as the passenger side. So I'm going to go ahead and measure, and then once we have that measured and written down somewhere, we can go ahead and remove this bolt, which is a 16mm, and this nut, which is 16mm, and on the inside as well is also a 16mm. And by the way, one of the things that I say is actually way easier about this car than, for example, if you have an F10, you might have seen some of the X5 videos. On those videos, they all say that there is a nut that you have to hold all the way in there. They have to remove the ECU and all that. On the F10, luckily, you don't. There's none of that. The nut is actually held on by magic or something, I don't know. It's held on and you don't actually have to hold anything. It's not even a nut. It's actually a round little spindle sort of thing. You don't have to hold anything. All you have to do is just take that bolt out like you would normally, and then this guy right here on the left, you can see, is right there. So you're gonna have to take this guy out. This is the bolt. On the inside is the nut, but outside is the bolt. On the other side, it's even easier because it's right there. There's nothing in the way. Only thing here is the coolant reservoir, so it might be a little bit tricky with access, but it's still right there and it's really not that bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those bolts out. All right, haha, there we go. That's it. Check this out. Now let's take this to the table. I'm gonna go do something that y'all should probably do as well. All right, so here we are. Of course, this is the stock old one, and this is the brand new one, aftermarket one, right? So the thing is, obviously the camber on my car is all wrong, and of course I have to adjust it. I can't do that. Only, you know, trained proper alignment shop can do it. So what I have to do is I have to somehow figure out where to position this good enough, at least, so it's not like negative or positive 10 degrees, enough to get it over to the shop, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this little trick I just found out. So I just got a little, really long, thin Allen wrench, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab this stock one, put the Allen wrench through here, I'm gonna get a tape measure, and I'm gonna grab that Allen wrench, I'm gonna pull it, and I'm gonna measure exactly to where the center is here, which is exactly 9 1/4, right? 9 1/4. So I'm now going to do the same with this. Put this in here, Allen wrench in, grab this, and get this to 9 1/4. All right, there we go, 9 1/4. So now I'm gonna get this same Allen wrench, which by the way is a 5mm. I'm gonna go up top here and tighten these two guys down, making sure they are the same distance apart from the top and the bottom. All right, that looks good to me. And of course, these have locking nuts at the bottom. Just gonna go ahead and tighten those down real nice and tight. I obviously don't want these coming loose by any means. And then I'm gonna get a 15mm wrench, and of course making sure that this little plate is seated nice and flat. Gonna go ahead and tighten this up. This also does have a lock washer, which is really nice. I'm gonna make sure this is really properly tightened. And also, check this out. This is the old one. You can see here, this is very easy to push around and maneuver. You can see that, eh? Put that to the side. This new one, I can't even move it. That's pretty much how it should have been, but obviously with time and wear, it gets soft. So now this is, of course, done, ready, tightened. Let's do the opposite of what we did to the stock one and get this thing on. I'm really excited. Feels really nice, heavy, sturdy. It's got some weight for sure. Really excited to see how this feels, because everyone says the little things like these tiny little bushings being worn and being replaced really do make a huge difference. Let's go ahead and get this guy on. And obviously, of course, make sure to also, whenever you put this on, make sure to tighten it at the preload that it was at before. Don't forget that step. It's kind of crucial. So I'm gonna go ahead and put at least one bolt in. Make sure, tighten it a little bit. Make sure it's at the correct preload. And by the way, also, there are torque specs, which I will give you all in a minute. But make sure that the preload is at the right height so you don't screw anything up. So let's go ahead and do that. And honestly, just do the opposite of what you did to take it off. Super simple job, honestly, pretty straightforward. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up right now. All right, so according to my research, this nut right there and this bolt right there are both 54 Newton meters of torque. Now, this nut here, connecting the actual knuckle to the bottom of that, is 54 Newton meters. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my really handy electronic, or I should say digital torque wrench. I love this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and torque down 54 Newton meters first for that bolt there and that nut there. You can also do it on the bolt on the inside, which is actually what I'm gonna do. It's easier on the bolt in the engine bay. And then I'm gonna torque both of those down. And then I'm gonna torque down this guy right here, 56 Newton meters, which is of course this bolt. Now, some say it's good to replace it, and I agree, I would probably replace it, but I totally forgot to buy it. And I got the parts, and I was like, well, it is what it is. I understand some people say it does stretch a little bit, but as long as it's torqued down, I don't really think there's gonna be a huge problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and reuse this, but make sure it's in the right way, the same way that it was when you took it out. So let's go ahead and finish this up. After that, obviously put the wheel back on. Well, before that, make sure everything is nice and tightened. Put the wheel back on, lower the car, torque the wheels, and you should be good to go. Now, this part is actually easier than I thought it would be. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and get the ball joint into here, right? So it's already somewhat in, it's in just a little bit, maybe like half an inch. And I'm using, of course, a mallet. I'm just pushing it around while pushing this down, and it should go in a decent bit. Now, to finish it off, I'm gonna go ahead and use this clamp. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and put these pieces together and start clamping them together. Of course, with a bit of malleting. Should keep going on in. There we go. There we go, it's in. Now, of course, make sure this is in the right spot. Make sure that the actual ball joint, it has a little divot, if you will, right? Make sure that that little divot right here, it's kind of hard to describe, but the little divot right there, make sure it's in line with the hole. So it's very hard to show you guys here, but you can see that the divot is in fact in line with the hole. Now, of course, this is one of the main things that actually holds it on and makes it stay in. And of course, the pinch bolt will pinch this together, also holding it in. So it's like a 2-in-1 kind of system. Oh, and also don't forget your little level sensor there. Make sure that that's on and correct. But everything is tightened actually. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put the last thing, which is the pinch bolt. Make sure everything is good. Make sure everything is absolutely good. Put the wheel back on. I'll take it to Firestone and then I will update y'all. And just like that, we are finished. We have finally installed these brand new upper control arms, the brand new adjustable camber arms. They look so good, and of course, y'all saw the whole install. And check this out. The camber is now finally adjusted. It is finally zeroed in. Front and rear, left and right, the camber is 0 degrees all around. It looks so good. You can see right here, the fitment is absolutely perfect and flush. You can see right here as well, and of course, on the rear, no spacers at all, just lowered on the ECS tuning coilovers. We've got the Continental DWS 06 Plus 285 35 R19 in the rear, with of course the BMW M3 437M. These things are awesome, no spacers, and look at this fitment. Are you kidding me? But the main thing is the front right here. You can see the front fitment is just incredible. I actually cannot believe that there are no spacers here. It's literally perfect. But the best part is the camber is 0 degrees all around. Cross camber is 0 degrees. It is finally aligned, and I can actually get it aligned now at Firestone, unlike before when I took it and they would just kind of look at me funny. It's like, we can't do anything. I was running like -4 degrees. This thing was terrible. It was eating the inside of the tires, and I didn't know that for the longest time until I got the alignment, or tried to get the alignment, and they told me it was really far off. But now, of course, 0 degrees all around. The car is finally in alignment, and I can drive comfortably knowing that I'm not going to drive weirdly in the rain or anything. I'm not going to wear the inside or the outside anymore than each other. The car is finally aligned. It looks good, and it feels absolutely incredible. The car drives straight like an arrow. It is so planted. It is so good, and now finally I can have both the looks and the actual driving functionality. Because before I was either kind of like, well, you could either have the looks and be out of alignment, or be in alignment, but you would be raised up. So now I have the best of both worlds, and I'm so happy I did this. I should have done this a long time earlier. This is a must-do, of course, if you lower your car. These cars don't have adjustable control arms from factory. I don't know if the M cars do, if the M5 does, but this one really needed this. But I think that is about it for today. I mean, we got the control arms installed. Of course, there are torque specs, like I mentioned, and of course, make sure you actually put it installed the same way the other one was, you know, when it was like up or down. It's like pre-tension or whatever. Really weird, really specific things that you gotta look out for, but everything is on. It's tightened. The car looks so good, and I've been driving with these on now for probably 6-ish months. The car feels great. I've hit a lot of potholes, unfortunately, but the things still hold on tight. They are still good. There's no cracking. There's nothing. They're solid. They're pretty solid. And again, they're the cheapest ones I could find, and they were on eBay for like $200 for the pair. Super happy. And they're blue. Not that it matters, but the blue is cool. I'm really happy with these. I really can't lie. I'm gonna put a link to these in the description. I'm not sure if they're gonna last very long, only because these eBay listings just have like 1 or 2 per listing, but I'll put it there regardless. Try to get one if you can. They're really good. I don't get a commission. I'm just letting you guys know. I really enjoy these. But again, that is about it. I got them on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and of course if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're also notified for the next few videos about this car and the 428i. There's a lot more coming, but that is about it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Take care.